Bueno, buenas tardes, buenas noches. Good evening, everybody. Wow, hearing this debate, both in Spanish and in English, is pretty amazing, actually. I feel right at home in my tenant association meeting where we do that in dual language. Shows that New York is an international scene. So I came with 30 pages, like at the county committee, so I will start talking about it. The program for running for Congress. I am a socialist. So socialists, we have a manifesto. And the manifesto, what we're going to do in Congress is there, 19 pages. The US we want, we call it. So all over the country, I'm teaching this manifesto as the leader of the socialist faction in the Democratic Party to everybody around the country to build a socialist faction in their county and in their legislative area all over the United States. Because if we don't do that, I'll be here alone representing District 13 in Washington, D.C. I won't be able to do much, like Adriano, let's be clear. Alone you cannot do much. You need to be part of a team. And my team is social democracy. It's something that Michael Harrington explained. You go back to 1984, and he explained that we needed a party, not something nebulous like we have today. We have to party in New York because the New York Constitution says it. Article 2 of the New York Constitution say the two parties that comes first every time are the ones who decide who are the candidates, they will count the ballots for you too. And they will do everything. So there is no chance that we can change the United States if we don't work in the Democratic Party. And that's my problem with DSA, because Democratic Socialists of America want to work outside, but not inside. So Albert Camus, a French philosopher, has said, you can do everything right, but still lose. So I'm doing the reverse. The Democrats are doing everything right. The Blue Dog Democrat, or the new Democrat wing, third way in Congress are doing everything right. But they're losing the war. Because in 2007, I never imagined that the Democratic Socialist mayor would be mayor of New York openly, thinking it was DSA. But he never said it was DSA. Never was DSA. He got elected, but never said he was a socialist. So I am a socialist. I'm running on the Social Democrat agenda. And you can find that agenda on my website, socialist.us, right there, for every socialist around the United States who wants to be part. Now I'm going to talk about the district. I have 7 seconds, so I'll give up. I'll do it in Spanish very quickly. Soy un socialista. Soy un socialista peñalomista. No hay nada más que decir realmente. Entonces, I'll take the first question, if I remember correctly. It was, what?
I said this to the audience, same question. What do you think would be the most effective strategy to oppose any targeting of our districts by federal forces such as ICE, as we've seen in Minneapolis, Los Angeles, Chicago, and elsewhere? What would you do personally in the event as a candidate or as a member of Congress?
There is not much I can do to stop ICE. I'm sorry to say it. The one who can stop ICE is the NYPD. It's Zoran NYPD that can stop ICE. Do we need to abolish ICE? Absolutely. I will say, I will do everything I can. But if I'm alone, the Republicans are going to say, hey, we need ICE, we need La Migra. And that's not something new, because the stuff that Oscar was stopping, that's what's happening in Mexico. Back in 1980 in California with Governor Wilson, who said, hey, we're going to have the worst immigration policy against the border in Tijuana. And that is not something new. So, as legislator, I can only legislate. I will say the same thing as everybody else. I will be as successful as España. So that's all you can expect from me. But I still will fight to get it out of the street. And it will be for Zoran to work his way and work his NYPD, and the Sheriff Miranda to work his sheriff and get everybody out. That's, I'll say very quickly and slide. ¿En español? Muy rápido. Tenemos que sacar la migra, abolish ICE, pero como legisladores no hacer lo que hacen en el.
Gracias.
Next question about APAC.
No, the second question. people and have experienced real divisions along ethnic and cultural lines. At times, pitting communities against one another in political and land use debates. What role do you believe elected officials have played, positively or negatively, in those dynamics? And what would you do concretely to govern in a way that builds shared power rather than competition among communities?
Well, are we recording, are we remembering what happened in 2016? No, 2006, when the district was divided between the racial line between the election from Congress, where it was the most vicious racial election I ever witnessed in my life here, where Dominicans were fighting against Black Americans from Harlem, and they were calling each other's names. That was like incredible. So, what I will do, I am a multicultural guy. My grandfather was one of the 7 founders, the Japanese founder of Congress of Racial Equality. He knew, as a founder of CORE, that they needed to bring black, white, and one Asian down. So that is what we need to do here. We are the land of the salsa. We are the land of the jazz. We are the land of rap. So all these cultures need to mix back together, and they need to jam. And I will make sure that the fund from Washington will come here to jam and bring back culture in a way that is inclusive. So anyway, that's what I will do as legislator. En español muy rápidamente, como legislador, no voy a decir más que lo que dijo Oscar y la revista, estoy 100% de acuerdo con ello. Y pregunta siguiente. Voten por mí. No,
I appreciate it. So, there's a question that has been asked, since I know that, you want that?
Oh yeah, I want that one. I am a socialist.
Well, I know.
I am a socialist. If AIPAC wants to give me money, go ahead, fund my campaign. However, don't expect that I will be docile and docile to whatever you want. I will bite the hand that feeds me. I am a socialist. So forget about it. So, now, I am a socialist international. That means over there in Israel and in Palestine, we have the Fatah. We have Meretz, who are 2 parties from the left. We need to do whatever we can to tell the Palestinian and the Israeli in New York to go vote for the left over there. Because if they vote for the left here, they expect us to do everything. And over there they still have Bibi Netanyahu, the fascist. Well, nothing will change. We need to work locally and tell everybody around the world, to tell the Palestinian and the Jew from Israel to get their act together and to vote left. And that will be it. So AIPAC, give me money. My website /socialist. Please AIPAC. Ok, en español es yo soy socialista. Pregunta siguiente.
Residents are grappling with visible public drug use and an increase in people experiencing homelessness, often in close proximity to schools, parks, and transit hubs. How do you balance compassion, public health, and public safety in responding to this reality? And what federal role do you believe is being underused or misused in addressing it?
Okay, housing in New York is a bitch. I am being a victim of my apartment 2 days ago, so I just got my 90-day notice from a nonprofit kicking me out. That happened to all New Yorkers every day. I haven't been taking drugs because I know how the Democratic Party system works, and I have hope. But many people will turn to drugs because they lose hope. This city is able to remove hope under the weight of everything. So when you go down that mental health crisis that takes you down, we need a system that brings you back. And like Zoran said, it's not the NYPD. So we need to fund our hospital. We need to fund. So one thing I will do is find as much money as we can to fund everything. And Paperboy Love Prince said it. We need to turn Naija into Mansion. So I will work to get all the money we need from Washington. And because I want Social Democrat to run all over the place, I will challenge every member of Congress and Senate until they will know that we want the money for us here to fund mental health, to fund Junanisha, to fund all that stuff we need for some people to be a little bit less unhappy that they need to turn into drugs. Then after that we have the cartel, the narco-trafficking, and that's where we work with the COPAL, which is SDA, is an observer member, with the South American parties to figure out how to deal with the inclusion of drug into the United States. So we will work on the federal level. We're already working on that, on those little steps, party to party, but not government to government because I'm not there.
Any questions? I'm opening it up to the public. Any questions?
I know it's late, so...
Okay, we have a question right here.
It's stating that he's a socialist from a Democrat socialist of Mandali, the same thing as she is, or different socialist Democrat.
Oh, I love that question. Okay, I'll answer in English. This is a lesson. This is going to take too long, so I'll answer very quickly. DSA from Mandani and SDA has split up in 2021. Yeah, they were. We are. Don't. You see, why are you interrupting me? You can look at the story. I mean, we can talk about Mike Harrington, DSA. So, favorable punta. Vamos a decir, DSA se volvió Juan Bosch y SDA es PRD. Oh, sorry. But the answer is no. We're not the same organization anymore. There was a split that happened in 2021. It is in the manifesto. The statement explained why we're not. We are non-Marxist socialists. DSA are Marxist socialists. So that is the difference. Is the non-Marxist socialism versus Marxism. Yeah. DSA es como Juan Bosch y SDA como...
¿Hay otra pregunta? ¿Esa fue una pregunta? ¿Hay otra pregunta?
The choice to run in the Democratic Party as a socialist, is that just something that you do now, or do you envision creating a socialist party in the future?
To answer your question, until we change the closed state and open state rule of the state constitution of New York, the Democratic Party is not a party. The Democratic Party is just a machine to control who gets on the ballot, how the ballots are counted, and organize election in the municipality. That's it. So whether the Democratic Party has a title party, they should be called the Democratic Coalition. And within the Democratic Coalition, you have Democratic Socialists, you have, I'll have to talk to Oscar about that, but I'm trying to figure out what his philosophy is. And my philosophy is social democracy, which is everywhere around the world. 7.5 billion people around the world recognize that as socialism. And democratic socialism is the same thing as socialism. So at the end of the day, we have a problem of label. It'll take another 10 years to get sorted out. We've been around 160 years, so 10 years is not a big deal. So yes, I am a Democrat. I run on the Democratic Party, and I teach social Democrat to run for county committee and to build the Democratic Party from inside. And we will be pushing up the Blue Dog Democrat, and hopefully we'll push them to the Republican Party. So they can move the Republican Party to the left. And that's what the bit that was cut off my speech during the county committee meeting. So there is a project, the SDA has a project, and that's what we will do. My closing statement. This is not yet the time we vote. This is the time when we come to you asking to go knock on the door for us to put us on the ballot. So that's what I want Uptown community and Kyoga to carry my name on your petition, to have a chance to take this speech down to the community out there where they're going to be giving a run to Adriano and can debate really between a social democratic way of seeing our vision. Adriano, we don't know what it is, and the release at the SA, and Oscar, we still need to figure out where I can put your label. I'll come up with something, don't worry. So, thank you very much for having all of us. I hope that other clubs throughout the district will call upon us to come and convince you we need to be all on the ballot. That's what the NY told us to do. So we will work hard to get a lot of new people on the ballot on different positions. So that's my closing statement. If you want to learn about socialism, come on Times Square on February 22nd, 2 days before petitioning, where I'm inviting every candidate from New York City to discuss socialism and how to petition to get on the ballot. So that is what I'm doing. And that's it. Muchas gracias a todo el mundo. Buenas noches.